everyone, dear tutor and classmates. Thank you so much for watching and this recording. We are from the group 7 from the course Educational Management. And today we're going to respond the task 3, which is called Leadership Styles in Educational Management, a case study approach. My name is Juan Salazar. I'm currently in seventh semester, and I live here in Bucaramanga. So basically, today I'm going to be the moderator for this session and basically giving response for the activity that basically consists of enhance the students' understanding of different leadership styles in the educational management and also their application to the real world problems. So we are going to collaborate in groups to analyze the all different five problematic styles, and we're going to choose the most effective leadership that address each issue. And so basically, this activity aims to develop a critical thinking, decision making, and teamwork skills. This group is conformed by Isabela Montoya, Diana Maria Cuellar, Julie Paola Cuadro, and myself, Juan Pablo Salazar. So I'm going to start with the first case study that in my case is the case study for technology integration. So this case study problematic is basically mentioned that a school is lagging in integrating technology into the curriculum. Many teachers are resistant to this change, and the students are not being benefit from the educational advantages that this technology can offer. Um, in this problematic, we can also see and notice some challenges, like, for example, the resistance to the technology adoption, and also the educational among the students, and the lack of preparation for the digital age. So that's pretty much like a brief summary about this case study for technology integration. And so now I'm gonna give the word to my classmate, Julie Paola. So thank you so much, Julie Paola, and go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Juan Pablo. Hello, partner Diana. Hello, partner Isabela. Okay, my name is Julie Paola Cuadro Arias. I'm a bachelor student in foreign language with an emphasis on English. Today, I want to tell you that I choose the case 5 of inclusive education. The problematic say the school lacks a comprehensive approach to inclusive education. Students with diverse learning needs are not receiving adequate support, leading to challenges in their academic and social development. Challenges. Inadequate support for students with diverse needs, limit awareness and training for teachers, and negative impact on the overall school culture. That is the information of my case number 5.
Okay, thank you so much, Julie, for the contribution. Now we want to hear Isabela.
Okay, hi, classmate. How are you today? I hope you are well. My name is Isabela Montoya Jaramillo. I'm now in 10 period in foreign language, so I choose the case study 3. Student behavior is the problematic is there is a rise in disruptive behavior among students affecting the overall classroom environment. Teachers are struggling to manage unruly behavior. I think that challenges, classroom disruption, teacher burnout, declining student academic performance, and leading to a negative impact on the learning experience for all students.
Okay, Isabela, thank you so much. And now let's hear which case study our classmate Diana chose. So,
Okay,
thank you.
hello. Oh, sorry. Hello, everyone. Um, well, as well, my name is Diana Cuellar. I am in ninth semester. Um, my case study is the number one, that is communication breakdown. That the big problem that have this is the case is the communication within the school administration and the teacher has significantly broken down. It's not working. Teachers feel unheard and there is a lack of clarity about policies and expectations, and this has led to decreased moral and performance among the teaching staff. So bad. And the challenges that they present is a poor moral among teachers, decline in overall teaching performance, and increased turnover rate.
Okay, thank you so much. So for everyone here, which is that are watching this session, we already mentioned all the four different case studies that each one of us chose. So now I just want to start, moving on forward on this session to my classmate Julie Paola. Please, Julie, tell us which leadership style did you choose and why do you think that is the right one?
Okay, sure. I choose the transformational leadership. Why? Because in the context where a school lacks a comprehensive approach to inclusive education and face challenges in supporting students with diverse learning. It is important to have a type of leadership in educational management that can promote and establish inclusive practices. An example of this is the transformational leadership, as it is inspirational leadership, and here the transformational leader has the ability to inspire teachers, students, and members of the school community through a clear vision of an inclusive and equitable school. Okay, that is for.
Okay, Julie, thank you so much.
So I have the same question for you, Juan Pablo.
Okay,
What leadership do you choose for your case, and why?
okay, yeah, that's for sure. Thank you so much for your contribution. So, in my case, as I already told you, I chose the case study four, which is about the technology integration. So, as far as I know, I think that keeping in mind the problematic and the challenges that is described in this case study, it's important that to mention, and of course, in my opinion, that some of the leadership styles that could help to solve this type of challenges and also the problematically could be this transformational leadership. You know, we also have a little bit of democratic leadership and servant leadership. However, the case study, that in this case is more close or is closer to the meaning and the function for the transformational leadership. I'm going to tell you why. Because this transformational leadership focuses on inspiring others to increase the motivation and also to create a shared vision to the essential for the successful integration of the technology. As you guys heard what I mentioned before, it was a little problem trying to incorporate the technology into the curriculum, and also at the same time to prepare the students for this digital era. So thanks to this leadership, the transformational leadership, we could all overcome the resistance to the technology adoption from the teachers. And besides that, we also need to make sure that they are ready to succeed in the world where technology, is becoming more and more important. We are in the 2024, and you know that technology is moving so fast. So I think that is super necessary that all the schools needs to fit to this technology and start integrating the technology era also with the communication information technologies on all the schools. So I think that, it's very important to give to every students the skills and the knowledge that they need to do well in today's, tech focused society. So that's what I can tell you, the reason why I chose this transformational leadership. And because it's the one that is more aligned to the case study. So, you know, a little bit more about it. I think that is significant that all these challenges that were mentioned in the case study for needs to be addressed, in order to ensure that all the students are prepared for this digital era. So that's pretty much it, like why I think that transformational leadership is the one that most fit to my case study. So I think that that will be all from my end. And I thank you, Julie, for for the question. Now, um, let's ask the same question to my partner, Diana Maria Cuellar. Diana, which and why is the leadership style that you choose from according to your case study?
Okay, thank you. Okay, based on the case study one, community breakdown, sorry, um, is this a big proof, a great evidence of self-critical leadership style when all the staff doesn't not feel like involved with the institution and decrease the enthusiasm and also decrease the mood that the all institution maybe have. Um, Also, the good mood during their classes include the administrative staff is a big problem because the leader must understand the needs of the students and the needs of the students of the institution to keep growing. It's most for the teacher. The teacher are the principal that they know how to they can focus the teaching learning the teaching approach for this for each student. So in this case that just the leader like the director take the boss for that is not like a good way to solve this problem. um I must emphasize that the teacher are the ones who give analysis of the students and the needs that they need to work at. And in my point of view, we can create a strategy to change the chip of the leader, of the director of the institution, that all the staff and their opinion are important and critical and constructive for the good way for the institution to increase the performance in all the members, generate motivation, and makes the teacher more autocritical on their class to establish what is the best for the quality of their classroom and what work the best way for the students that they have. To have a good teaching process, applying the set process that involve the student and staff. Also, we can like improve the skill that students maybe have in during these classes if the teacher have like the opportunity to be creative and be by herself to create the class. I consider that in this case they must change the type of leadership style to transactional or democratic style to make more involved the staff and keep growing with the success that like a leader wants in her or in his institution. And in my point of view, in my analysis, I can mix both because science is playing an important role in the mood and the atmosphere of the institution, with all the participants having a leader who always wants to evaluate and excite the levels of the competence of the employers generates a great gain for the institution and the community teacher, and most important, the quality of the teaching of the students. This as the um, as spectators can see that the fact that teacher is to give the opportunity for the student to learn for him, and the student as spectators can see that the fact that the teacher is instructed give the opportunity for what is being said and explained in class to make more sense and take more shape. for the topic and thus be able to capture the attention, give good results in the self-evaluation. So I think that is the better leadership that this institution may be applied, that all the participant, the members of the institution can have the good weights or the good mood for that.
Okay, I appreciate your thoughts on this, partner Diana. So now let's hear Isabella. Uh, why and why did you choose that learning style?
Okay, for me, it's a simple answer because I love this style. And in the case study of the raising disruptive behavior among students, the most suitable leadership style will be transformational leadership. I think this style focuses on inspiring and motivating others for a shared vision, by working closely with teachers to develop a collective vision for a positive classroom environment is so important in our classes. A transformational leader can instill a sense of purpose and enthusiasm among staff. Yeah, emphasizing discipline and mutual respect. They can encourage innovative teaching methods and strategies. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if I have mistakes. I'm a human, yeah. They can encourage innovative teaching methods and strategies to engage students positively. This approach addresses the root cause of disruptive behavior by fostering a supportive and empowering environment where teachers feel motivated to implement effective classroom management techniques. Uh, for a case study involving a decline in student academic performance, the most appropriate leadership style will be servant leadership. We are teachers. This style priority the needs of others and focusing on supporting and empowering individuals by collaborating with teachers to identify, I don't know, underlying causes of academic decline and providing necessary support and resources. A servant leader can address the root issues affecting student of performance, fostering a nurturing and supportive environment. They can empower teachers to implement targeted intervention and strategies to improve student outcomes. I think that this approach emphasizes empathy, compassion, and a genuine commitment to the well-being and success of both students, and staff. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Isabella, for your amazing and clear contribution about your leadership style. Now, keeping in mind what we have said on this session and moving forward on the next steps that are required on this guide activity, I would like to ask my partner, Julie Paola, for example, keeping in mind what you choose, I mean, this type of leadership style. For example, why you didn't choose the democratic style?
Okay. I think that I I choose only that because I I, I didn't know about this leadership, but I think that is well to implement the democratic leadership in this case, because when you are in this situation where you have boys and girls with needs, with special needs, you need the participation of the families, yes, of the teachers, of the directive, because it's a decision, the decision of all. Yes, all people or all community of the school need to do the best decision for the students, because it's a company that, yes. But I think that I I didn't think in that. But yes, it's a good option for this case too.
Okay.
And this,
Okay.
and I have the same question for you. But no, with democratic, I think why you don't choose the servant leadership for you, for your case.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm gonna tell you why I think that that was not like the most important or the ones that has the the huge importance. Because as far as I know, the servant leadership, is more about servant leaders to give needs to their team when we have a work team, and they are more in charge of communication before their own. So I think that in this case, then it's more focused on the technology integration. We can barely see that we find this type of servant leadership. And for example, just to complement, this answer, I think that in an overall opinion here in Colombia, the servant leadership is gaining traction, um, because it's more focused on putting the emphasis on serving others rather than being served. It's like that kind of style that I'm more like I like to do. I like to give the other people, but I don't like being served or being helped you know so I think that this type of learning style um, is not focused on the technology integration. Also another reason is because this type of style, we have leaders who adopt this approach to prioritize the needs for the team member, in this case to all the different teachers and all the students in the school. Is more focused on the empathy, on the compassion, empowerment, group collaboration, support. Um, and here in Colombia, and also in my case study, we have organizations that are more focused on the servant leadership, they are more like social responsibility and giving back and backing up all the community. So that's why I think that it doesn't match or doesn't align with my case study and the servant leadership. So that's where what I can tell you, Julie Paola, like my reason why I think it's not like that much necessary.
Okay, thank you, Juan Pablo.
Okay, I think I'm gonna ask to Diana, or Diana to
Yes.
me. No, yeah. Okay, Diana. I think, why don't you choose the transformational style? Because it's a good style, I think, and my other companies think the same.
Okay. Well, I choose the democratic style and also the transactional, because the transformational have like a synonym of the charismatic leadership that I I use in the enthusiasm in the democratic, because uh, in this type of style uh, we have the relationship between the leader and the followers. So the followers are the teacher and the leader are like the director of the institution. So um, with the democratic environment, with the democratic style, we can use or apply that transformational style leadership because it's about that. It's about you have the voice to express yourself, to express your ideas, your opinions, and how you want to approach your teaching to the students. Because, like we as a teacher, we know what are the needs, what are the issues that each student have in the classroom, or what is the big issues in the classroom. So in this in both styles of leadership, I think that apply, but I think that democratic is like the principal word for that, like the conclusion for those, for both style leadership. I think that democratic is the best way because, as I say, it's that the teacher have the opportunity to participate, like involving all the situation that may be present during the institution. And also, if we have like a good mood, a good environment in our institution with our colleagues, the other teacher, and also with the administrative employers, we can have a great level of the education when we have like evaluation rubrics. So I think that that is the reason why I put like democratic and not transformational style. And now, why you put why you don't choose the transactional? Why you choose the leadership that you solution for your study?
Okay, my answer is so short because I'm so definitely with my answer. I'm so agree with my companions, with Juan Pablo, because we have the same. And I think because it seems more complete and pleasant to my student according to my methodology. I have a different methodology of the traditional. And for that reason, I also feel that if there is that type of methodology or style, we can give more breadth to the technology. Yeah, it's so simple. I think that.
Okay, thank you. That is the reason why like you choose that. I feel that that is a good explanation or conclusion that you have for that. So thank you for clarify that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, I have a question for Juan Pablo again. Juan Pablo, what is the solution that you have for your case?
Okay, that's a really great question, and thank you, Jody, for asking. So, according for what I've said about my case study, which is the technology information, I already mentioned what will be the best transactional leadership that match with my case study. So, I was thinking about what will be the best solution. I know that we can provide several options to try to resolve this kind of situation. That also is, we will start, experiencing this in our real life when we start being as a teachers. Um, we will find some schools, some institution that they are, they are left behind when it comes about to technology. So I think that according to my case study, what I can say, for example, the first thing that I'll need to mention is the professional development. Try to include the professional development. Why that? Because in that case, the teachers, I mean, we can start like providing training and support for all the teachers, in order to have to be more comfortable and proficient, trying to integrate this technology into their teaching practices, into their curriculum. In that way, I think that the classes can be more dynamic, you know. Also, on a daily basis, they can start to include workshops, seminars, webinars, sessions, virtual games or face-to-face games, in situ activities. So that's one of the things that I will do, from my standpoint. The second thing, uh, maybe it will be promoting the culture of the innovation, and maybe we can let the principal of the institution know that we are left behind in technology, that we can have a lot of values, that we can experiment innovation, to have a more dynamic activities during the class, and also a continuous learning. In that way, we're going to encourage, with all the teachers to share their opinions, have feedbacks, best practices about the technology integration. Um, and I know that, for example, here in Colombia, I would say that more than the 60% of the teachers are like that, all school teachers that they don't have the knowledge about this type of devices, this type of computers with the technology. So now that we're going to be the future teachers, I think that we are more than ready to start implementing the technology in our future activities, in our future classes, with our future students. So that's the second thing, that I can say that will be the solution. uh, Another one will be the student engagement. And what do I mean with the student engagement? Is basically try to implement strategies to, be actively engaged with the student, that they can start using the technology as a tool to learning on a daily basis, but just as a tool for learning, not to be a distraction that they can start, gaming or doing other things on the computer, on the websites. Just try to focus them more on those online games that are like learning with the topics, incorporating games, quizzes, assessments, but in a different way, through the digital resources, online platforms. Um, so in that way, I think that we can align and redirect the students to use, this type of technology more dynamic, and maybe they can be more resourceful and, relevant on their lives. Um, I don't know. I think that, well, I can also mention another solution that, can be implemented in my case study, which basically is the educational addressing these parts. And what is this? Is basically make sure that all the students have the technology resources, because one thing is know that we must implement this type of resources, but it's a different thing that not all the students have access to the resources, and they have access to the internet or have access to the technology, because we know that more, we can find a lot of different educational institutes that they don't have even, they can barely have internet, or they don't have any signal to get connected to the internet, maybe because they live in a really small isolated town where it's around mountains. So it depends of the technology resources. So along with the economic background, these type of students are like, their parents are basically people that work in the farms, so they don't have that economic you know resource. Um, and basically that's a thing that we can start be focused on as a future teachers time, and also the government here in Colombia. I think that they are along the time trying to cover all different small places, different isolated places here in Colombia, trying to make them connection with the internet, and trying to help these poor people to have the connectivity, and help them to navigate in this digital learning environment. So I think that we I need to mention this. Well, I think that that will be my opinion about my solution. Also, all that I mentioned before is very important to have a curriculum alignment. Now that we are thinking to implement and ensure the incorporation of this technology era in this school, so it's very important that we must fit, this type of classes or activities into the curriculum of all the school, in order to have critical thinking, problem solving, and communications skills, And at the end, I think that that would be a great solution. And I'm talking more like a real life situation here in our country. So I think that will be my thoughts on my solution. Um, and I would like to return the question to you, Julie. What will be the best solution according to your case study? What you can tell us about it?
Okay, thank you for your question, Juan Pablo, and your answer. I was thinking, no, I say you that I choose the transformational leadership, but because the leader becomes a role model demonstrating values of inclusion and equality and modeling the behavior of the students, yes, and empowering the teachers, encourage the teacher, um, experiment with inclusive practice, and encourage the innovation and celebrate advance in inclusive education. Yes, but I think that it's necessary to use other leadership. Yes, in my case, I think that the best that in this case I can mix is the instructional. Yes, instructional leadership because the leader leaves clear goals of what is expected of an inclusive school environment, and in terms of participatory leadership, this type of leadership will open the space for the dialogue to teachers, administrative staff, students, parents, and members of the school, and that is necessary. I told to my partner Diana that it's necessary that the other leadership will be democratic, but I think that the instructional leadership is the best with the trans sorry, I I forgot
Don't
the
worry, Julie.
the name transformational leadership. And so I think that the school, the community in decision making and design the strategies to promote the inclusion in that school. That is my conclusion, my decision for this case, Juan Pablo.
Okay, Julie, thank you so much. I think that I would like to mention or to add something of what you just said. And I think that it will be great to mention that according to your case study, which I think it was the inclusive education, and according to your problematic and challenges, it will be great to mention another possible solutions, according to the case study. So I was thinking while you were, mentioning and, talking about it, that it will be great to develop, an inclusive education framework. And why is that? Because I think that will be necessary to establish a comprehensive approach to the inclusive education, and also mention things like the policies, procedures, and practices, in order to ensure that all the students in your institution, in your problematic, receive the support that they need to thrive. So I think this is necessary to develop this type of education framework. Um, Another thing that I would like to add to your comments is that I think that we need to promote a culture inclusion, you know, and why is that? Because we need to foster the school culture is more diversity, equity, and we need to promote awareness, to be a center for all different students and their learning needs. also life education and community building activities. So I think that that way is going to be important to also try to promote this culture of inclusion according to your scenario, according to your case study, and the problematic and the challenges that you were facing in your example. So I think that that's what I really like to add up to your comment. Uh, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now I think who's up, Diana or Isabella?
I can do it. Okay, the solution that I can give for my case study, uh, I want to divide that. I want to divide for the challenge that they present, that communicate present. The first one is the poor moral among teachers. It's appear because just the principal wants to have the opportunity to express himself about that, and we like a teacher, we want to express and we have to have like a voice for our opinions or our engagement to the teaching learning. Um, Also, a decline in overall teacher performance. This appear in that case because if you don't see like you are like part of that institution or like part of that environment, you don't feel like you can match the puzzle in that institution. So you feel like, okay, I gonna do just the necessary, just they ask for that, and I don't want to apply like innovative things like dynamic games or use a new technology for that teaching. So we can like teachers that we don't have like the voice, like the empathy with the principal that the principal doesn't have with us. It maybe increase the moral and increase like our performance, and just like, okay, it's good for you, it's good for me, and no more because it's your institution. You have your problem and it's your problem and no mine. And also increase turnover rate. That's a difficult for an institution because the rate that they can give you, like the government for the environment students, educational sites, it's important the rate that you have, the high level that you present at the end of the evaluation. It's a good like motivate, like good environment that the government can apply in the institution. So maybe if the institution doesn't have like enough computers or if no platforms for create the tasks or the homeworks, maybe if you have a high rate, a high level, a high grade, they can like give us more implements for that, and we can improve our skills about the teaching, and also we can have like the high level that you can say like, I'm teaching in that institution, so I feel proud for that because I have the involve the students, I involve the principal, I involve all the members, and we act like a family so we can mix the puzzle and it's working for us. And we can create as a teacher, we want that the students make a good people, a good environment, a good mood in the future. So I think that if they notice that in the institution we have like a part like family, like empathy, work with empathy, it's for them it's a proof that they can uh, prove that they can do more than more that they are already give us. So I think that it may be the best solution, the democratic way, because the teacher and all the members can express that, and also the student have the opportunity to speak. So they also have the opportunity to say, I don't like that mood. I don't like that method that the teacher X anyone explain the topic. So I think that maybe for me, I'm more dynamic than theoric. So it apply more for me that another way, another method. So I think the democratic leadership style is the best way for confront this case study.
Okay,
And
that's pretty good comments, Diana. about your decision and what will be the possible solutions for your case study. Do you want to say something? I'm sorry.
No, I just want to say that it's important that I think that democratic leadership is like the summary of all the leadership styles. No, I don't know why, because I don't know why I think that, but I think that all the leadership style involve all the democratic way that we can have like a good mood in our environment of the institution.
That is correct. I also agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's hear Isabella. What will be your solutions, Isabella, according to your case study and your problematic and challenges?
Okay. I think it sometimes so difficult because it's so much styles, but I think it is by investigating the knowledge that our students have about what they bring from school and of course providing safe support to resolve doubts or what we think. I think that the best option, as the university says, is to achieve the student has significant learning. Yeah, sometimes information is given without meaning or only to give it. We must be a leader of our knowledge and to spread it. Implement positive behavior support systems, develop and implement a school with positive behavior support system that enhances proactive strategies for promoting positive behavior and preventive groups. This may include clearly defined expectations, rewards for positive behavior, and consistent to consequences for rule violation, and provide teacher training and support, offer professional development and training opportunities for teachers to in change maybe their classroom management skills and strategy for addressing disruptive behavior effectively. This can include workshop, coaching session, and access to resources and support networks. I think the other establish clear classroom procedures, establish clear and consistent classroom procedures and routines to promote a structure and orderly learning environment. Uh, I think communicate expectations to students and constantly enforce rules to maintain discipline and minimizing disruptions. uh, for positive relationships because build positive relationships between teachers and students based on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Take the time to get know each student individually and provide opportunities for them to share their thoughts, concerns, and interests. Provide behavioral interventions and support service, offer target interventions, and support service for students who exhibit persistent disruptive behavior. Think learning programs and individual behavior. I'm so sorry. Individual behavior plans tailored to meet the needs of each student. Promote is the other, yeah. Promote student engagement. Implement engaging and interactive teaching strategies to keep students actively involved in learning and minimize environment and off-text behavior. Provide opportunity for student choice, collaboration, and hands-on learning experience to increase the motivating and engagement. It's important. And I don't have more for this answer, but it's my opinion for that.
Okay, Isabella, thank you so much for your contribution, and I agree with you, according for what you just said about those possible solutions, and referring to your case study. So I think that in this part, that will be all for our session. I would like to say a conclusion, and we would like to share just to wrap things off this meeting. Um, that I think that after all the main purpose of this activity, um, I mean, I can say that this activity serves as a catalyst, depending to the students' comprehension, and it's going to help them to the leadership styles within the educational management and their practical implication. So basically, by engaging this collaborate group analysis in real world scenarios, like all the different case studies that Isabella, Julia, and Diana mentioned, I think that we can start to um, cultivate into the students the critical thinking, the decision making, improve these teamwork abilities through this experimental learning approach. Basically, the students not only have these theoretical concepts, but also they can develop these essential skills that are required, nowadays on our life at this time to be more effective when it comes to leadership and problem solution in real life educational contexts. So that's like a little conclusion about this activity, keeping in mind the objective for this lesson that as I mentioned before, and I would like to say it again, the main goal, the main objective for this activity was basically to enhance as we as students to understand the different leadership styles in the educational management and how can we apply them in a real world problems according to the all different case studies that each one of us chose. Also, work collaboratively in groups and analyze all different problematics. So I think that will be this little conclusion about today's uh, conversation according to this task number 3. So I don't know if Julie wants to say something also to add to the conclusion.
Yes. In the ever-evolving landscapes of education, challenge can crop up from all directions, from changes in curriculum to shifts in students' demographics. There is no shortage of hurdles to navigate. That is where adapt adaptability comes in. That is my conclusion, Juan Pablo. Thank you.
All right. Who else would like to add something up on this conclusion? Isabella or Diana?
Yeah, I think as leaders in educational management, we need to be like champions, able to adjust our approach based on the specific context and challenges we face. What works for one school or situation may not work for another. So having the flexibility to adapt our leadership style is the key.
Okay, I also want to add something like I want to make like example that when dealing with a disruptive behavior use, a transformational leadership approach might be effective in inspiring positive change and fostering a supported environment, as I will say. And on the other hand, when tackling a lack of technology integration, a servant leadership approach may be more sustainable, focusing on empowering teacher and students to drive innovation. By being adaptable in our leadership styles, we can better meet the diverse needs of our school's teacher and students. We can respond effectively to challenges as they arise and steer our educational institution toward success in ever changed world. So it's the same that you have like we can have like a high level for that.
Okay, Diana, thank you so much. And also, I would like to mention something, according to your example. Um, I think that being adaptable in our leadership styles, in each one of yours. I think that we can better meet the diverse needs of our schools, not just in this case that we will choose this activity, uh, also in the real life schools and institutions. So I think that we can better meet all different needs for schools, teachers, and also the students in order to respond effectively to all the different challenges as they arise and steer our educational institutions. Um, it could be any type of challenges, as an example, I think that we already mentioned four different cases scenarios when we have all different type of challenges. So I think that this activity really helped us to like be more open mind and try to open our eyes and see that we need to be ready um, to face and experience all these type of scenarios and real life problematic and challenges. So I think that again we need to respond effectively toward these different challenges, in all different education institutions in order to move forward and you know toward the success in every changing world. So um, that'll be my my cut on this part of the conclusion. Um, I don't know if we must add up something else
Yes, I
or I
want to
think
add something. I want to say that I really agree with you that we like as a future teacher, we have to improve our skills in all the methods and also the different styles to make like uh, a good environment for all the students, for all the members for the institution, and also it's like a clue for that we like more empathy. I established for my life that the empathic is the best way to solve any issue, sorry, and is the big solution for all the problems that we can have. So to be empathic, you have the opportunity to understand why and why that hit their opinion. So like focus on that and you express like by yourself about the topic or about the topic that you have and respect all the thoughts that the other people have.
okay, Diana, thank you so much. I'm not quite sure if Isabel, if we already mentioned this case study, which is about the budget constraints. That was a missing case study, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So as I was telling before, in my part of the conclusion, I think that this type of scenarios, for example, the one that we didn't never touch or talk about, which is a really common, a scenario, which is the budget constraints, because I think that depending of where we are located and what or which city are we in, if it's a big city, it is a main city or it's just a small town. um, I think that we are going to find, and more here in
Yeah.
South America and in Colombia, this type of case studies that is the real life context, the budget constraints.
Mm.
And I've heard, according to my experience, and I know because we can see uh, every day on social media, on the news, that there are a lot of schools, they are facing these budget constraints and they are being reduced every time with the resources. Um, which are basically educational materials,
Yeah.
and this is going to affect uh, the professional development. I think that also is going to affect the learning development from students and somehow is going to impact the quality of education, maybe fortunately or we have I can say for my opinion, I mean, I was in a public institution. I was not in a private institution, but at least I have the opportunity to have the normal, materials, extracurricular activities, this normal education. but I know that there are a lot of poor people that lives in really far away from the main city, and that they don't have the same quality of education as I did, when I was in the school. So
Yeah.
I think that it's also necessary to mention this type of problematic that um, is, I mean, I know that we are in 2024, and I think that this problematic has been in Colombia for more than 15 years, and we still can see a lot of different institutions in that really far away and isolated places. And this is affecting the quality of education. Because what if, for example, a student that they can barely, you know, they need to walk like maybe 1 hour to get to the school, is going to affect the quality of education. And what is the consequences of this? Maybe they will be in the same like life cycle. They are going to think like the fathers. They are going to focus maybe to harvest or just to grow plants, grow
Yeah.
fruits, vegetables, because they are living in the same like bubble. So maybe if they have access to maybe a different, broader education, they can see different perspectives of life. They can see that the life is not just, working in the farms. They're gonna be a different life in the future, and also in the future generations. So I think that that'll be all. I think that's what I can say about this conclusion. Um, to everyone, thank you, Isabella, Julie, and Diana, for your time. And I hope you have a great time watching this session and learning and listening our thoughts about this task number 3. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. See you later.
See you later. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, Pablo. Thank you, everyone, for this time.